Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. And we are continuing our Monday colour challenge series. So this sort of cropped up by chance really, because my upline posts a little fun challenge just to get our inspiration going. So this week these are the colours we have got. Shaded Spruce, Real Red and Soft Suede. Now this really does scream Christmas, to be fair, but I don't know whether I really want to make Christmas cards in April. It just feels just a little too early for Christmas cards. So I've got my thinking cap on, and actually it was these two colours that I thought, oh, you know, roses, red roses, what can I do? Is there anything that I can use along those lines? So I ended up making this card with these lovely stamps from the Brushed Blooms stamp set. And you can see there's a number of elements that we've used in the card, including a greeting. They do have coordinating dies as well, which the name is Beautiful Brush Strokes is what they're called. So there's some dies to cut out the outlines of the flowers and the leaves, so I've used those today. But there are these other elements to actually build like a dimensional flower, which I must get round to doing at some point for you. So we're going to sort of mess about with this as usual. You know, I don't usually replicate exactly the sample, but it's not going to be far off. Just so that you know, I've brought in Very Vanilla to stamp on rather than Whisper White this time. Just because I felt like it had a bit of a sort of vintagey feel to it, really, to be honest. So I'm switching out the card base for some Shaded Spruce, cut in the usual way at 4 1/8, scored at 5 7/8 of an inch. I have my vanilla layer there, which is 4 inches by 5 3/4. No, 4 3/4. No, yeah, 5 3/4. Oh, gosh, my brain's not doing very well today. And then my layers, this is like, you know, this is my card formula, remember. So if you haven't watched before, you won't know, but those of you who do, this is a formula I go back to a lot, and these layers are 1 inch shorter and narrower than the corresponding base layers. Okay, if you are working in metric and you've cut and scored your layers and stuff, it's approximately 1.5 centimeters to 2 centimeters. You do so it's closer to, it's probably about 13 mil actually, but if you want to sort of round that up to something easy, I'd go for 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so that is my my formula, beg your pardon. Got a couple of scraps here. They've got a 1/2 inch strip here that I'm going to use for my sentiment, and then a scrap to stamp on as well, so do my die cutting and stuff. So first things first, let's do our background stamping onto our Very Vanilla layer. I'm just going to bring in a mat just to protect the surface slightly, because we're going to go off the page. Silicone mat is a real great little tool to have in your craft room to protect your surfaces. And I'm going to use the Soft Suede ink pad and this sort of splitchy splotchy stamp just to go around the edge of this a little bit. If you are using your silicone mat, the ink won't dry immediately on here, as you might imagine, so just be mindful of where you're placing your card, if so you don't get ink splodges where you don't want them. There we go. Okay, so we've gone around that just to get those that edge all covered. Okay, and that's going to go straight onto that card base. While I've got this ink out, I'm going to stamp the happy birthday sentiment towards one end of this piece of card, and hoping I'm going to get it straight because I can't get my head in under your view. So it's going to go somewhere there, and if it's not quite, oh no, it's not too bad. There we go. So that's stamped, ready to go as well. So that should be it for the soft suede ink. Don't need our layer just now. So our white layer, sorry, it's not white at all, that is a very vanilla layer. We're just going to put a couple of our little flowers on there. So I'm going to pull out another mat. I would normally just wipe off the other one, but say under the video it's a bit tricky to do that. And I'm going to bring in the two rose images and the real red ink. Okay. And we're just going to put a couple of these we're going to go one here, one there, okay, and we're going to put a small one in here. Now that looks a little random right now, but when the card comes together with all the other layering, it's going to look super duper. We'll leave that there to one side for a second. While we've got the red ink out, we will do another large flower for die cutting, and a couple of small ones. Okay, so those will be die cut out in due course. And then we can also stamp the leaves. So there is a die for this, so we'll just twizzle that round and put those in. Down here, we'll do 3 sets of those. There. Those are for die cutting. And I'm just going to put a few here and there on the layer as well, just next to these elements here, just to frame that a little more. Okay, and again, like I say, the overall design will come together as we build up the card. Okay, let's move that to one side, and we can get that added to our layers. So if you line up 3 edges, the 4th one should do its job, because you'll have cut it straight, hopefully. Just like to run around the edges, make sure they're all down. Okay, so if I show you a little again on this, so I like to turn it sideways because you can visualise these easier than you can a great tall thing like that. So I put it on its side like that. If it helps as well, I think sometimes we're not sure how big the border needs to be. So if you lay it down glue side up and just sort of give yourself a bit of a visual reference of what you're aiming for, and then when you flip it over, you can do that. So I'm holding it in my dominant hand. So a lot of you guys are going to be right-handed, so you're going to be holding it like that. So I'm holding it in my dominant hand and just letting this edge touch the base card, and I'm going to use my thumb and fingers there just to eyeball that those two corners and look like that, so they look like they're even, and then we'll drop down the other bit like so. Okay, we'll just reinforce that crease as we always do for tenfold cards, just to make sure that glues down. And then we're also going to add this ready as well. So same principle. If you flip it over like this, get an idea of what you're aiming for in your head. Okay, so that looks okay. And then again, I'm going to work at this end, see where I want to put that, and that looks okay to me. Yeah. There we are. Okay, so that's that layering done. We've got our sentiment strip ready to do its thing. So I'm going to pull out my lovely Labels Pick a Punch. So this cuts 3 sizes of little tags. Release your punch with the little tab on the back. I'll go with this top one. So this will cut into strips that are 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch and 1 inch in width. So we're going to cut that edge ready, and we'll trim it down to size once we are ready to assemble the card. So there's 3 of those now, which is marvellous. It's a really nice addition to the collection. So we need to die cut our elements here. So I've already got the dies here, and we'll need a little bit of tape. So we'll try and do as many as we can in one pass. If I'd have thought about it, I'd put those flowers a little further apart. It should be fine. Yep, this one's going to fit. Oops, tape's curling over. So I use that washi tape over and over again, just to keep all those dies in place. The only thing that's ever going to damage a die is if they overlap in the machine and you die cut your dies, basically. So the sheer pressure on a die cut machine is the only thing that's going to really damage those, unless you're really rough with them. They're really robust. Just some of the really fine dies, you just have to be careful taking them off their sticky carrier sheet. Okay, so there's that one. So ready to go back on. Let's pull this one up. That one's ready. Don't need that one again. So we just reposition our dies for cutting out the remainder. Of these images, so it doesn't take very long. Like so. One set of leaves. Oops, sticking to my fingers. And then second set. Once more through the machine, and then we'll just have to cut that final set of leaves out. I probably should have done some of that ahead of time, but you're seeing it in real time what the full process is, so that's okay, isn't it? You can always fast forward these little bits if you don't want to see all of this. That bit off. So those bits of tape have probably expired now. And then we'll just position that last one and get that run through. And there we have it. Third set of leaves. Scrap in the bin, and we are just ready just to finish off our card. So, and I still forgot to do the I was going to run my Wink of Stella pen over the blooms before I stuck anything down, or die cut it, because it's easier to do it when it's on the sheet. But I forgot, so we'll have to do it before we sort of stick everything together. So I've just used, that is the edging strips off my sheets of dimensional, so I keep hold of those, and they're ideal for these kinds of things. Just going to, actually, do you know what, before I do that, I'll have to do my Wink of Stella ink first. So just going to pick up this a Wink of Stella pen, just give that a little gentle squeeze, so just to keep the glitter flowing through. So this is a water-based product. I've got no idea exactly what's in it, but it's just lush glitter. But what it does, especially with these stronger colours, so it works really well with the reds, and the shaded spruce it works with as well, Blackberry Bliss, those kind of things, Bermuda Bay, Night of Navy, those deeper colours, even after being sat for a while. So those have been stamped for a fair old time. So even in that regard, it will still pull out that ink colour, and so you'll get a little bit of colour coming through, and the sparkle, of course, on those roses, you see. So rather than just being sort of you know, the base colour, in this case it's vanilla, so it just takes that starkness off them. The more you go, the more ink you'll pull, obviously, so, you know, depending on how pink you want them to look, just go for it. And you have the added bonus of some glitter being added too. Okay, so just wipe that off a little bit so I'm not carrying the red onto my leaves, and I can do the same on those. Really nice way to get more from your inks. You could even, if you wanted to, you could watercolour with the Wink of Stella. So those of you who've watched before may have seen me press some ink onto a block and use it as a watercolour palette with just a usual paintbrush or a water painter. But you can also do it with this too. And then when you've done, you just sort of wipe your brush nib off onto some scrap cardstock. So if you just wipe it off, this one hasn't stained too much actually, but if there was any residual ink, it would just come off onto your scrap and it's ready to go for your other projects. So we've glittered that up. That's nice. I'm going to lay the sentiment down next and then build up the rest of the flowers around it, and I want that to come over this border. It just helps to tie everything together, in my opinion, of course. You don't have to do that, but so that's something that I like to do. And then if I could get these off this silicone mat, it's a really great, it does keep things in place, which is fine when you're trying to do stuff. Not so easy when you're trying to pick things up. Like I say, the old brain cells are really having a tough time today, so I'm feeling a little less dexterous today for some reason. So there we have it, just building that up. So we've got a really nice sort of floral arrangement with lots of depth. So we've got our flat elements and we've got our raised elements too. Okay, I think I'm going to put that one there. And keeps a bit of the white space going. And then the little leaves, I'm going to just put some dabs of wet glue on. Just a dab or two. It's really strong stuff, the multi-purpose glue. You really don't need much of it. It will last you flipping ages. So we'll put these into place just to finish off that design. And of course we, you know, they'll be going in and over each other in this, you know, this rose bush sort of thing. So don't worry about going over other elements. Should we put some more there, or should we put another one? I think I might put it underneath this big one actually. Just twizzle that round in my fingers. And put that right inside there. Just peeking out. And there we go. Right, excellent. There we have it, ladies and gents. Don't forget the gents. Where's my other sample? There it is. So there we go, a little bit of variation on the theme, but still keeping in the colour challenge. Personally, if I'd have had some more soft suede cardstock, I probably would have. I think I actually quite like the soft suede on there, but it's all very much personal preference. But I literally used my last piece of soft suede doing this this card. And I think it looks nice with the vanilla and the wink of Stella there, bringing out the colour and adding glitter at the same time is all lovely. So this one I felt like I'd done too many flowers, if you can have too many flowers. And just wanted to sort of leave a bit of white space so that sentiment just sort of could still be seen really. Okay. As always, everybody, the links and everything are going to be in the description bar below. Please do check them out. If you click on the supply links, they'll go straight to my online shop and you can pop them straight in your basket and check out with me as your demonstrator, which would be marvellous. Otherwise, if you could like, subscribe, share with your friends, and yeah, I will hope to see you again on this channel soon. Thanks ever so much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.